What's up, does it take its videos, but I really do apologize. Stuff has been very, very difficult. Been having some family problems, so I just kind of took a little time off. But I just uploaded the video from Skyline, so this video is coming to you. But we are here at the valley with the old Ford. We got suicide awareness numbers on. One of our friends, his wife, sadly passed away from suicide. Tiffany McPherson. We had to put that on there for her, and all the other victims. This terrible thing that happened. But hey, you know, it really sucks. But we're doing good tonight. I started on a pole in the heat race, the 4th heat race, and finished second. Matt Garrett again got me. He's been hard to beat. So, but hey, we started 4th row outside to Mr. Dwight Henry, and hopefully do good. I mean, car's good. Track's been fast, so we'll see. Zach sadly let the motor nuke, but I don't know. It sucks. Hopefully we'll go out here and get a top 5. See you guys when we get out there.
20 laps for this kid tonight. with Toby Wilson laying on his roof made contact with Scott Alden's car. The entrance to the back straightaway. The race was checkered out, and your unofficial winner right now would be the 7th, Lance Wimbler. Driver is okay. We're glad to hear that. Slow roll over onto his roof, but still. Never good to be hanging upside down in your belt.
All right, guys, Saturday night here at the finale of the Valley, standing here with our favorite announcer, Hal Furro. How do you think this season turned out, Hal?
Excellent season.
Excellent season?
For all the racetracks.
All the racetracks.
I-77
sure.
Speedway, Tyler County, Ohio Valley, West Virginia Motor Speedway. Great
turnout, great year.
Great restart for them.
I really hope they grow next year.
I hope they have a great race next week.
For sure.
The Dirt Track World Championship will be a lot of fun to watch.
For sure.
I hope you guys try that out with the Sport Mod.
I hope we do too. That's on the plan. I grenaded a motor tonight, so we're going to see where we go with it. We were going to take my motor and let Dawson run a little, and I don't know how that's going to go. It was Dawson's motor. She's in smoke now. But so how did you guys do at 77 this year? Everything turned out all right?
Everything went really well, I thought.
Really?
Yes. Everything went really well. The UBV race was absolutely great.
Phenomenal. I love the sprint car simulator you guys had up there as well.
Yeah. And the kids love that stuff too.
Oh yeah.
We had the Steel Block Series race there. Great crowd for that. Big plans for next year.
Big plans.
Glendale owns the racetrack now.
Has bought the racetrack.
Glendale owns the racetrack. Chris Garnes is going to help with the marketing. He's developed a marketing plan and so on and so forth.
Good deal.
The key thing with any of these racetracks ahead of time, and you already know this from running a race car and so on and so forth, but the key thing for all this is sponsors helping out their local racetrack.
Completely. I agree with that.
We need that ahead of time so that we can plan these purses and so on and so forth. Perfect example of that, and I mean, maybe you're not going to understand this, and I'll try to keep the story as short as possible.
Okay.
But there's a track, and of course, I'm an asphalt guy.
Now you were
Always
the
been.
announcer
Now,
at
the last
Ona?
Ona Speedway,
Okay.
yes. And I moved from Maine in '97 to here.
Okay.
Okay, but I've been announcing since I was 21 years old. I went to the
wow.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and I interned at Riverside Park in Agawam, Massachusetts.
Oh wow! So you've been all over.
So we visited all kinds of racetracks. Well, we went up to Nova Scotia Speedway on a vacation.
No kidding.
Okay. And we got to meet the owner. And of course, when you announce at another racetrack, they treat you like a king, no matter if they know you or
Is that
don't.
right?
And I like that part of it. I mean, it's not ego for me. This is something that I've had 2 jobs in my life where, have you ever had a job in your life where you do it and you do it for nothing, but the bonus is they got to pay you?
You just love it.
Well, announcing is one of those. And of course, I got to work for a 100,000 watt Christian radio station too during that time frame, and while I was in Maine for about 5 years. So that's something else that I would have done for free, but the bonus is they got to pay me for it.
Yeah.
So, but to go back to Nova Scotia Speedway, so we visited on a Friday night, and they've got the whole deal. I mean, this is back in 1985, I think. And they've got the whole deal. They've got. It's an asphalt track in Nova Scotia. They've got late models and and modifieds and all that stuff on Sundays. That's when they raced, on Sunday afternoons. But Friday nights they raced one class, a Dukes class. That's what they called it. Yeah, that was sort of like what you call any cars. But it was 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, and 8 cylinders. It was like Enduros.
Just against each other, or against a bunch of people.
140 cars in one class.
Land.
And when they started the race,
And we thought sport mods were bad here with 30 and 40.
when they started the race there, what they would do is this: they would line up, dead start, dead stop, 140 cars for 100 laps. No freaking yellows.
Oh wow! So there
If
was.
somebody rolled over, they'd
pull
throw
it.
red.
But if there was a car in the red,
what they did was, and what I wish we could do here, of course it'll probably be very popular, and maybe we'd get more cars for Enduros, is they had what I called a bump car. It was a wrecker with what I called a rubber band around it, all the way around. And if somebody spun out, the wrecker would follow the tail,
yeah.
and the wrecker would bump them off the track.
Oh really?
With
so
his
that's
rubber band.
Sort of like the Lone Star 600, like they have.
Yeah.
They have that
yeah.
bumper
Just
truck go around.
Just go forever, and the only time you're going to throw it is red. Well, like I said, they treated us like kings, took us right up to the VIP suites, and it only cost $5 to get in
Really?
for this thing, and it was, and they filled the place out. It was 3,000 people there just to watch one class. And this wasn't the superstars of, the ACT or PASS or whatever. It was Enduro racing.
Entertainment.
Okay, on a Friday night. Absolutely entertaining. And it was wild. It was crazy. It was great. So the owner's sitting there with us, and, we're getting all kinds of free food and drinks and so on and so forth, and watching all this crazy stuff, and everybody's going crazy. And she shows us her program and everything. It's full of ads, full of sponsors and everything. And I said, "How do you do this part?" She said, "I start as soon as we finish, and by February, I've got all of my purses already paid for all my classes because sponsors are helping,
supporting their local dirt
and
track.
supporting their
everybody.
local dirt track.
Well, asphalt track.
I mean, you got to remember when we're talking Lucas and the Woos, okay, they get a lot of support from a lot of sponsors. NASCAR, people spend millions and millions of dollars on TV contracts and so on and so forth. I know all these little tracks, including WVMS, which is not exactly a little track.
Yeah, no.
But the thing is we all need your support. And if we get your support and get things rolling off the ground, then we don't have to depend on things like entry fees and so on and so forth. Because right now, the biggest obstacle that any racetrack has at all, including us, including everybody else, except for a night like this when you're all by yourself, and everybody who's still wanting to race and watch a race comes, is getting the bodies in seats. Not hard getting the cars in the stands.
No, everybody wants to race.
But you got to pay them.
Yep.
And in order to pay them, you got to get those bodies in the seats, and you can't force them to come. You can't. So it helps with, So what I'm saying is support your local racetrack. If you own a business,
your local dirt track.
If you own a business, I'm telling you, a place like the Valley will treat you first class. Tyler County Speedway will treat you first class. I-77 Speedway, West Virginia Motor Speedway. However you want to throw towards your budget. But dirt track racing, I'm telling you, nothing like it.
Nothing like
it, buddy.
That's why we spend every weekend here, every dime we make on these cars behind us, and then we make bonds like we have with Hal here. That's done his part in making our name made on the Bars logo and everything. He's always shouting us out and giving me nicknames and Dawson nicknames. We sure thank you for that, Hal.
You're welcome.
And
Cadillac.
what's in the plans for you next year? Are you going to be at 77 still?
I'm still doing what I'm doing.
Okay, still doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
so
I'm still doing what I'm doing. I was working when I moved here in '97. We ran into Ona Speedway because we lived in Lavalette, which is pretty close. and we went up there a couple of times. And I worked for Superior Cadillac at the time.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'm talking to some of the guys, and one of the guys tells me, throws the Herald Dispatch at me and says, look, they're looking for an announcer because they're restarting again. This was back in 2000. And one of the guys looked at me because you can tell I'm not from around here.
Oh, completely. If you've
those-
never heard Hal's accent over the thing, you can tell Hal's not from down around Ripley anyway. Definitely not that drawl in his voice.
No,
but-
there's no drawl there. But I'm from Maine originally. But the big thing is people, you know, they just love this stuff. I love this stuff, and you know, we just want to, you know, promote racing and
Yes, sir,
and do all we
completely.
can. And like I said, I worked at ONA for, Lord, almost 16 years on and off.
Really?
Now, ONA was weird. And the reason why I don't say that in a negative way, I'm not saying that in a negative way. What I'm saying is I wasn't used to a racetrack that raced every other week.
Oh, completely.
You know, raced and took a race off, or we can't race because, you know, Bristol, and, you know, we won't get a crowd, and so on and so forth. I do understand that now, but I couldn't understand it then. And then in 2017, there was an article that came out in the Ripley paper about Todd Jones reopening I-77.
I-77.
I don't know how long it had been closed or not. And I'd never done dirt. I'd been to a dirt track, but I'd never announced dirt. So I went up and talked to Todd. And the big thing that intrigued me about it was the fact that they raced every week.
Every week.
Just like we did in Maine. In Maine, we raced every week.
Because we can't go without racing
There were no
for a week.
There were no weeks off. The only time you got a week off at your regular track was once a year at the Oxford 250. And then everybody else it'd be like the Hillbilly. Everybody takes a week off.
Goes that
everybody
way.
goes to the Hillbilly.
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
Now,
So-
the Hillbilly being one of the best dirt races around here as well,
yes.
for
And the
sure.
Oxford 250 was the same way.
The Hillbilly of the asphalt world.
We're talking 100 late models.
Oh, wow. Good land. I know, I've never been personally to an asphalt race myself.
3 days. 3 days, 100 late models, and they get in via heats. Not time trials, not boring time
Draw
trials.
a pill and go for your heat race.
No, you draw a pill and go for your heat race.
I
If you
like
get
that
number
kind of race.
100, you start last in
your
about
heat
the
race.
in about the sixth heat with 20 other cars in your heat,
Oh, good
and only
land.
4 make it the race.
And asphalt racing is not easy to pass on. It is.
Well, some tracks it's
Some tracks it's not.
not. No, some tracks it's not.
I heard that.
But 250 laps with everybody in the middle, including, you know, and believe me, the heat races were gouge it out. If you could not pass somebody
Brutal.
and somebody was slow, I mean, it was dive bomb and boot 'em.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Now we have we bought my brother's first car off of John Boy Brown, which runs the Wayland Modifieds, and we got to go down and see Bowman Gray Stadium. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah,
very much.
I've heard that's pretty crazy. too.
Oh man, they call it madhouse, and it is a madhouse. Those guys on asphalt modifieds don't play.
And that's why those guys. That's why they have such crowds.
Yes. Oh
People
it's
love that.
entertainment.
People love that stuff.
It is
They
entertainment.
really do.
But Hal, thank you for taking a second to spend with us after
Thanks,
everybody's, as you can see, everybody's funneling out. I grabbed Hal as he was leaving. Thank you for our interview, and
You're
we look
welcome, buddy.
forward to seeing you next year, man. Thank you very
man.
much.
Thank you.